Welcome to this demonstration of accounts payable automation using WebCenter Imaging with Oracle Forms Recognition presented by Lanson Consulting. The aim of invoice automation is to speed up the processing of invoices and take the invoices out of the ERP system into a managed environment where they can be more easily managed and will not affect the performance of the ERP system. This demonstration will use Oracle Forms Recognition process. If you are interested in key from image processing, please see our other videos. This diagram details the high-level flow of the WebCenter imaging process. It shows both the Oracle Forms Recognition and key from image processes as they are interconnected. This is the path that we will take for the Oracle Forms Recognition processing of an invoice. We will create a batch using an invoice prepared earlier and commit it into the OFR runtime service. RTS uses OCR to try to work out all the data that makes up an invoice. If no issues are found, the invoice is passed on to the imaging server. If issues are found, they are passed into the Verifier app. Here, a user tries to resolve any issues. These can be simple OCR issues, missing data, or more complex issues with the invoice. Once the issues are resolved by the verifier, the invoice is then passed on to the WebCenter imaging server. The invoice is then passed into the SOA process that inserts the invoice data into the eBiz interface table. Connection Manager runs on a regular basis and tries to take all this data and make an invoice out of it. The invoice is then available to the AP clerk for processing. Okay, so let's start the demonstration. Here's the image of the invoice that we'll be using. Note the number. We'll go into Oracle Document Capture and create a new OFR batch using that image. Open the image up, and here you can alter the image. You can rotate it, mark it up if you want to, but we'll just close it. And that will allow you to automatically commit the image. Now across to the runtime service, and you'll see that it's already running. If we watch what's going on here, you'll see that this image is now being processed by the runtime service. So it's using OCR to try and pick all the data off that image. We'll go and have a look, and you'll note that it's gone into 550 status. This means that it's been passed across to the Verifier app. If it had hit 800 status, then it would have been completed. So we'll open up the Oracle Forms Recognition Verifier app and have a look at this invoice to see what's wrong. There's our invoice. We'll double click on it. In this case, you can see all the information that's been pulled off. We've got the invoice number, the date, it's worked out the supplier, the PO number. What's missing is the line information. It just doesn't have the quantity or the unit amount. So we'll enter those things manually and tell it to reevaluate it. So it's now happy, and it's now going to allow the process to move on. It passes it back to the runtime service at 700 status. It'll now just finish the process off, and it'll go to 800 status. So it's now complete. It's been through the OFR process. So now we'll switch across to the imaging server and import that image in. We'll search for that invoice. There it is. You can open it up. And there's our invoice number. The process of importing that invoice has already initiated the SOA process. So what we'll do now is go and run Connection Manager in the eBiz environment. Ordinarily, this process would just be running on a regular basis, but in this environment we have to go and run it manually. So we'll take one of the previous jobs and submit it and wait for it to complete. Okay, it's completed. Let's view the output, and there's our invoice. You can see the number. So let's go and find that invoice now. And you can see that all the information has been plucked off the invoice image and has been put into eBiz with the appropriate values. You can even see the line information. I'm going to reopen this invoice because the image has not yet been connected to the invoice. That takes a couple of minutes. And you can see that this invoice now has an attachment. We'll click on that, open the document. That's opened in the background. We'll now log on to the imaging server, and there's our invoice. That's a permanent connection between the invoice on eBiz and the imaging server image. If you'd like to know any more details about how this process works, please contact us on these details. Thanks for watching.